What's up, Chirpy Chirpettes? This is Phantom here with Bird Chirp Gaming, and we're here with the gaming class on this channel. We're all about class. That's right. We don't wear them UGG boots over our sweatpants, and we don't wear scarves when it's like in the summertime. Yeah, what's up with that crap, right? But anyway, we're gonna jump in here. We got a Mila video. A couple videos ago, I mean like maybe one or two. I asked a couple of you guys what you'd like to see, what character you'd like to see played with next, and somebody did shout out Mila, so here I am with her gameplay. I was hoping somebody would say one of the new characters, quite honestly, because I really wanted to jump in with them, because I want to get the most out of this game before, you know, Halo or Duty come out. So I know a lot of you are waiting for that stuff, and I hope you stay tuned for all that coming up in the near future. So anyway, this is probably the second take of my commentary on this video, because I went through the first take and I wasn't really concentrating on all the moves that I was trying to use with her in general. So I wanted to touch on that real fast before I forget. She has Mila. She has a lot of, I want to say, obvious moves, but they're good to use if you use them in the right order, in the right sense. You'll see a lot of the times I'm using the low punch that almost like sweeps the feet of your opponent, and that can be really good because it's almost like a sit down, and you know, it causes some confusion and like hesitation for the other player. You'll see that usually when I use it, they're countering immediately after, and if they're not, they're waiting for the next attack, which is you know, 50 or 60% of the time pretty guaranteed. And I will follow it up with one of those mid kicks. She has like two mid kicks that one is a standing and one is like a lunging mid kick. The lunging one I tend to use more often because it's more rangy. When I go into training with a new character, I like to look for moves that one are rangy, and two, combos that I can use to either launch, or combos that I can use when the opponent is launched to get the most out of my combo. But for her, she didn't really have a lot of launch moves. You can see that 9K, or yeah, it's a 9K with her. It's pretty decent. It doesn't launch as high as, like, say, any of your other characters would launch, but it's really the only launch attack that I have seen. Is pretty much her primary. But the big strength of her, I found, was, and really the best way you can find this out is if you play other people with that character. And I did go up against a guy who used this a lot. Is her ground grabs, similar to what Bayman or Leon from the other games, or I guess even Bass. She does have a lot of ground grabs that you can get her from the feet or their head or the side, whichever one. And a lot of them are put into combos, and if you can get them off, it does a lot of damage, especially on danger zone stages that have danger zones on the ground, like Alpha 152's like stage, which is really killer. So you know, I'm not one to say like I like doing that, because I really don't. I hate it when people, you know, run halfway across the map just to get me on a ground grab. That's really frustrating and annoying. But I mean, if you're gonna use a character like Mila, where, you know, if you go into training, you see that she only has like 70 attacks to like everyone else's like 100, near 100 attacks. So she doesn't have a lot of attacks, and a lot of them are pretty simple. Like she has, you know, like maybe a little bit of a mix-up. You know, some attacks start low and then just finish all high, or start high and finish all low. So they're really not the strongest attacks. I mean, she has a leg sweep that doesn't even put you on the ground; it just hits you. That which is similar to the one I just threw out. You know, so she doesn't have a lot of attacks that cripple your opponents. It's really like what I like to call like a knick-knack type style of fighting. So she was a little interesting in that respect, but I mean, if you're gonna get the most out of her, you better avoid abuse her ground grabs. Which, I mean, it took me a little while to get used to doing that, because I'm not used to doing that, because I don't use, you know, characters like Bayman or Bass. But that's definitely something that you'd want to get used to while you're playing with her, definitely, because you're gonna get the most damage out of that. But like I said, she doesn't have any like launcher attacks, so the main thing I was trying to do was trying to get used to getting my opponent to, make the mistake and play defensive and try to get that chip damage so that I do catch them in a mistake, like say countering at the wrong moment and grabbing them, or when they counter I can get them into that stun threshold so that I can launch them even higher, because she doesn't have that launch ability like everyone else does. So that was something that I really wanted to touch on. But in this game, I really just did this game, and I really just wanted to post this one because I thought it was hilarious that I got 3 power blows on this kid during the game. Yeah, spoiler alert, this 4th round isn't over yet, but I do eventually get another power blow. And there was another comment that I made on one of my videos. It was like, when I was watching pro gameplay before the game came out, I realized a lot of people weren't using the power blows, and I really didn't know why. And I think they've gone a long way since how we saw power blows being used in, say, the alpha that everyone got, or to where we are now, because where it was before was, well, at least my understanding was, that you could always use it whenever you wanted, and then we went to you can only use it when you're at 50% health. And then I heard you can only use it once per round, and I think that's really good the way that they did it, because honestly it hasn't been used on me too much to the point where I think it's overpowered, and it definitely in my mind is not overpowered at this point. Once a round is decent enough. I mean, hey, if you're at 50% health, it's not like a power blow is going to put you immediately out of the game. It will definitely propel you, if you do get it, it will definitely propel you to a more available position to come back. I mean, it's definitely awesome. It's definitely, provides for those moments where, you're jumping out of your seat that you just won that game because you got a power blow on a guy and you were one hit, So it's definitely really cool. It's kind of just a coincidence that we're playing on this stage again. This kid was pretty cool. He, I couldn't believe I was going up against him and he was using stepping attacks, because I never really played anyone who was using stepping attacks like this guy was using, and it didn't look like he really knew what he was doing with her, but at the same time it was fun. I did message him at the end and I said, hey, good game, and he's like, yeah, but I still don't know what I'm doing. So but it was all in all a pretty cool game, and I like to I like to use different costumes or outfits when I go in the games, just to make for a good variety. If you did see my other video that I posted just before this, it was a Mila infinite glitch that I had known about previous to actually getting it on me, but I was kind of ignorant. I didn't think it would actually happen, and then it did. So if you do go up against Mila, just be careful that that your opponent doesn't put that on you. The best way to really make sure that it doesn't get hit on you is by tech rolling out of all of the opponent's attacks. And that's really a good way to avoid getting ground grabbed. Like I just said previously, a lot of her damage comes from her ground grabs, and the best way to get out of them is the tech roll. So appreciate the responses and comments. Get back to us when you can.